All right, today we are diving headfirst into the world of electronic communication. You know, all the texts, emails, and DMs that pretty much run our lives. Let's get right into it.
No, seriously, just take a second to think about that. From the moment you woke up and checked your messages to that last goodnight text, our entire day is woven together with these digital conversations. So let's break down the tools we use, the rules that make it all work, and the skills you need to navigate it all.
So, first things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page. When we say e-communication, what are we actually talking about?
It sounds kind of technical, but it's actually super straightforward. Anytime you're using software on your phone or computer to send or receive information over the internet, well, that's e-communication. Sharing a Google Doc? Yep. Sending a voice note? That too. Even just liking a friend's post. It all counts.
Okay, now for the really fun part. Let's open up the massive digital toolkit that we all have right at our fingertips. You've got a whole bunch of different tools in there, and each one is designed for a specific job. Knowing which one to pull out is a really important skill.
And this table right here, it really lays out the whole shebang. You've got email for those more buttoned-up formal messages, then there's instant messaging for those super quick back-and-forth chats, and of course social media, which is all about building communities. See? Each one has its own role, and the real trick is knowing which one to use and when.
Let's start with a true classic, email. The best way to think about it is like a digital letter. It's perfect when you need to be a bit more formal. Now, the key thing to get here is who you're sending it to. The to field? That's for your main audience. CC, or carbon copy, is for anyone you need to keep in the loop. And BCC, blind carbon copy? That's your secret weapon for privacy. It lets you include people without anyone else on the email even knowing they're there.
Now let's switch gears to a totally different kind of conversation, instant messaging. With IM, it is all about speed. It's that immediate, real-time interaction. I mean, this is the digital version of a quick chat in the hallway. And honestly, it's become absolutely essential for everything from team projects to just saying hi to a friend.
And finally, let's talk about blogs and vlogs. Think of these as your own personal stage, your digital soapbox. It's not really a two-way conversation like an IM. It's more of a one-to-many broadcast, where you get to share your ideas, your stories, whatever you're passionate about, with literally the entire world.
So, you might be wondering, how does all this stuff actually work? It can feel a bit like magic, right? But underneath all these apps and websites, there's actually a shared set of rules. Think of it like the basic grammar of the internet that makes it possible for us all to communicate.
I absolutely love this analogy. These rules are called protocols, and they're basically a shared language for our devices. It doesn't matter if you have an iPhone and your friend has an Android. As long as both devices speak the same protocol, they can talk to each other. It's pretty cool, and it's what makes the whole system work.
And a perfect example you use all the time is VoIP. That stands for Voice over Internet Protocol. This is the tech that takes your voice, chops it up into digital data, and sends it across the internet. So yeah, anytime you're on Zoom, a WhatsApp call, or FaceTime, you are using VoIP.
But of course, like any technology, there's a trade-off. On the one hand, the advantages of VoIP are huge, right? It makes calls way cheaper, video conferencing is a breeze, and you can even share files during a call. But on the flip side, man, it can be a data hog. It'll drain your battery like nobody's business, and most importantly, if you don't have a stable internet connection for everyone on the call, it's basically useless.
Okay, so we've got the tools, we understand the basic rules of the road. Now let's talk about how to use them well. Because being a good digital citizen is all about communicating clearly, politely, and maybe most importantly, safely.
And that brings us to this really important concept, netiquette. You guessed it, it's just etiquette for the net, for the internet. See, when you're online, you lose all that body language and tone of voice, which means it's super easy for things to get misunderstood. That's why having these shared social rules is so important.
So what does good netiquette actually look like? Well, it starts with the simple stuff. For one, do not type in all caps. It really does look like you're shouting. Just be polite and use respectful language. It also means being professional, especially in an email. Use correct spelling and grammar, and save the text speak for your friends. And finally, just be considerate. Use that BCC field for mass emails to protect people's privacy, and maybe think twice before you attach that gigantic file.
And moving from just being polite to being safe. Think of this as your quick mental checklist for social media. First, before you accept a friend request, actually check out their profile. Does it look real? Second, before you share that shocking news story, do a quick fact check. Third, always be skeptical of weird links. And fourth, protect your personal info. Don't post your address, and maybe turn off location sharing. And maybe the most important one, if a group or a conversation just feels wrong, trust your gut and get out of there. So we have covered a ton of ground, from the deep down protocols to simple politeness. But here's the thing, the tools, the apps, the platforms, they are always changing. What's popular today might be gone tomorrow, which leaves us with one last thing to think about. In this world of constant digital change, what's the one timeless rule for good communication that works whether you're sending a text, an email, or a message on whatever new app comes next?